All right, hello everybody. KVU Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with our nightly update on the forecast. We had a little cold front move through central Texas early morning, so we had some wet weather, a few light showers this morning that cleared out. The afternoon was sunny and cooler, but still really not. Behind this cold front, though, our weather for the next couple of days is going to be more along the lines of what you would expect for December. More 30s and 40s, afternoons that will be in the mid-60s. However, I don't think that that's going to last all the way up until Christmas. So we want to set that for you tonight. We will get into our forecast. So here it is, Christmas Eve, 74 degrees in the forecast. And this is kind of a new addition to our forecast tonight. Yesterday was looking like, hey, things are primarily going to be dry around Christmas, but now we have an increasing chance for storms on Christmas Eve, especially for the day. So for the afternoon, into the evening, maybe even into the early overnight, about a 30%. Then as we go into Christmas Day, as things look right now, it looks like any sort of rain will push out. Will be about 55 degrees in the morning for Christmas Day, and then very warm for the afternoon, 73, mainly dry. So coming up here in a moment, we'll get into the details, model comparison, rainfall potential, all of that. We'll get into that here in a few minutes. Just lead with that tonight. But of course, in the short term, really our focus on this cooler weather, which is coming in. So a live view outside downtown Austin on this Wednesday evening. Temperatures starting to feel more chilly behind our cold front from earlier today. 59 degrees the current temperature for Camp May, 57 right now at the airport. Wind right now north at 7 Austin. It was very breezy earlier today. We had some wind gusts over 30 miles an hour, and right along the front it was also really breezy this morning. That wind will die down this evening and tonight, so you know that clear sky, calm wind, that's the formula for cold weather, and that's why our temperatures tonight will down into the 30s and low 40s. Numbers across the metro right now as we record this, 55 in Pflugerville, Round Rock at 55, same number for Hutto. Let's go out country, see if we have any 40s. Not yet. 52 in Llano right now, Fredericksburg, it is 54 degrees, still some low 60s hanging on for southern and southeastern areas. Obviously, compared to the weather that we had to begin the week, it is already much cooler and will continue to drop tonight. 24-hour change, 13 degrees cooler in Austin. Look at Georgetown, 20 degrees cooler. Llano, 18 degrees cooler. Burnett, 15 degrees cooler. Now, we mentioned that wind, of course, very breezy earlier today, but as we expected, the numbers trending down now. So it's a north-northeast breeze, gusting to 17 still in Bastrop. Austin, just a sustained wind, pretty light now at about 7 miles per hour. Today, though, that breezy wind brought in one unwelcome guest, and that's Cedar. It didn't spike today. I guess that's good news, but it was higher than yesterday by a decent bit. So it was still medium today, but it was on the high end of the medium category. So 7 grains per cubic meter. I know that might not mean a lot to you, but 90 is the threat for high. So we got pretty close to that. Mold was also high today. As we go through the next couple of days and into eventually the heart of season, which is in mid-January. A reminder, we have our very own allergy. It's on the roof here at KVU right up above my head. So we have hourly data. You can check that whenever you like at our KVU app and on KVU.com. Okay, tonight, coldest night in a while. Not frigid, and I don't expect it for most, but some across the hill country will get close. We'll drop 40 degrees in Austin tonight. Some upper 30s, but above freezing east of I-35. I do have a freeze in the forecast for some of the colder pockets in the hill country, though. Llano, there's already been several freezes in Llano so far this season. 32 for you. Mason 32, Fredericksburg 34. Probably not a freeze in Fredericksburg, but you know those more rural, low-lying parts of Gillespie are likely to see a light freeze tonight. Across the Metro I-35 corridor, though, we'll say 40s in the city, upper 30s for the more outlying spots. I've got 38 for Round, 37 in Georgetown, Leander 38, Wimberley 39 degrees in the forecast. Tomorrow's forecast, beautiful, sunny, just perfect. Average for this time of the year is 63. We'll be degrees above that tomorrow. I have 67 in the forecast for Austin. The low 70s across the hill country. Closer look at the Metro and I-35 corridor. Isle 67, San Marcos 68 tomorrow. Wimberley 68, Brock 67, Georgetown 67 degrees as well. So that all looks good. Okay, so now that we are getting cooler, we're going to stay cool for a while. It is not, as we talked about, going to last into next week for Christmas, but this will stay on through the weekend, so mornings will be pretty chilly, 40 tomorrow morning. Friday morning, a little bit warmer at 45, and then we have another very weak cold front, little reinforcing push of cool air that gets here. So Saturday morning, That's going to be our coldest weather this week. I have 37 in the forecast. Austin, still not a freeze in the city. You know, it's amazing. We are still at the first freeze of the season in Austin. On average, that is in early December. So we are, I think, based on what we have in the forecast, we could go a month later than that. Cold mornings, but not freezing cold mornings. Then Sunday 44, Monday 56. You see the way those are trending. Now, what about the afternoons? Average this time of the year, about 63, 64 degrees. We're going to be close to it, but just a little bit above, and that will take a weekend. Saturday, again, looks great for the football game as Texas is hosting Clemson off the college football playoff, the first round of it. But by Monday, temperatures start to rebound in the mid-70s on Monday. So speaking of the game, 3 o'clock kickoff at DKR, Texas Memorial Stadium. On Saturday, Texas hosts Clemson. I don't know about you guys, but this is just perfect football weather for remember. It is going to be chilly in the morning, so early tailgaters, or if you like to get a jump start, head out to the game early. It's probably long sleeve and jacket weather in the morning. Afternoon, though, it looks great. 63 at kickoff, and then we'll start to drop a little bit, get into the second half of the game. But I think that will be perfect. So good luck to all the fans going out there. All right, let's get into the part of the forecast that you are probably focused on, and that is Christmas. Here's the morning of Christmas Eve. This is our European model, and here in a moment we're going to get into the model comparison. Remember the two main models we look at, European model, GFS model, the two main models we look at for the extended forecast. So this is 7 a.m. the morning of Christmas Eve. Here's our system. So that now looks like it could be scattered to even numerous storms to our forecast late day Christmas Eve into the night before Christmas. So here is 6 o'clock, storms coming down the I-35 corridor, and as we get into the late evening and overnight, this particular model, and as we go through this is going to be a moving target. This is going to change. I promise you it will change, but we're just trying to give you the early possible heads up for at least what kind of ingredients we have in the forecast, because so many folks obviously have plans around the holidays. So in case midnight, the night before Christmas, we could have widespread shifts, a few embedded storms. What almost all the models are showing, though, is if we get rain Christmas Eve, it likely moves out overnight and should be gone for the most part by Christmas morning. This is 7 a.m. Christmas Day, Christmas morning. Maybe still a little lingering rain down south, but the day on Christmas Day is looking primarily dry as we see it right now. So our 7-day rainfall comparison as far as how much rain we see, both our GFS American model and our European computer model, both trending higher with rain. Again, I showed you this yesterday, showing barely anything. Now the trend is towards a wetter solution. Again, with almost all of this rain coming in Christmas Eve into the night before this. Again, this is subject to change, but I guess the better part of this forecast, to be optimistic about it. We need rain. We need it badly, so I guess we'll take it. Half-inch to an inch, especially for the eastern half of our area from the GFS model. European model, a little bit more widespread, bringing some of that heavier rain, still about a half-inch or so, but bring it back farther west into parts of the hill country. Now, one model comparison I wanted to show you guys. So I showed you the amounts. This is the precipitation types of the rain coverage from both of these models for the night before Christmas. This is midnight. So midnight, or the 24th. Goes into Christmas on the 25th. GFS model, again, it's kind of favoring areas to our northeast where maybe the storm potential will be higher. European model, it's showing rain and storms widespread right over our K-View area. So again, these are the trends that we'll need to be watching. Do we get kind of a glancing blow and maybe that stays mainly east of here and it's not a huge deal for Austin, or is it kind of coming down our way where we get into a more widespread coverage of rain? Either checked in with Santa, he will be fine regardless. He'll make the flight through Central Texas, no problem. But here's the 7-day forecast. We'll spend some time on this, just kind of putting everything together. Again, in the short term, it's going to feel and look like December. It's sunny, it's going to be dry. Mornings will be chilly. 40s, 30s for Saturday morning. 37 to the forecast Saturday morning in Austin. Afternoons are going to be a little warmer than average for this time of the year, but close. 67 tomorrow, 66 on Friday, 64 on Saturday, and then after the game on Sunday, still 66. And by the way, meteorological winter, which started at the beginning of December. We have not, though, started astronomical winter, and that will happen on Saturday. So the winter solstice, shortest day of the year, is going to be on Saturday. Monday, still dry. Early next week, partly cloudy Monday, big travel day, obviously. Don't see blues. It's going to be warm, though, 75. Then for Tuesday, Christmas Eve, 74 in the forecast, obviously very warm. 30% chance for storms is what I have in the forecast now. Again, I showed you the model data. It looks like that's trending higher, but we're trying to be conservative. We're about a week out, so again, expect these numbers to change. We'll be on every single night here on KVU Plus and obviously on D2. On KVU Plus, we get into, kind of the nitty-gritty. Normally I've got like 3 minutes on TV. I'm not going to be able to show every single graphic that I want to, but on KVU Plus we can. So if you have eyes Christmas Eve and Christmas Day forecast, join us 7 o'clock every evening right here on YouTube and on KVU Plus, our streaming platform, Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV. We'll go through all the details in this forecast, but 30%. We'll drop down to 55 degrees for the morning of Christmas Day. 10% rain chance Christmas Day as I see it now. So if we see rain, I think it's going to be in the evening into the overnight, Christmas Eve into the night before Christmas. But Christmas Day, as the kids are trying to get out and play with the toys, I think things are looking mainly dry as we see it right now. Kind of a broader picture view, our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. So this will take us December 24th, Christmas Eve through to 28th. And that is looking very toasty. Warmer than where you would expect things to be in December, not just here in Texas, but a good chunk of the United States. Look at this. Minneapolis, parts of the Midwest into the northern plains. That's looking very warm. And then again, as you migrate down here to Texas, the dark red, things are obviously looking quite warm for us. We're lies in the 70s. Now, increasing confidence. We're not, slam dunk territory just yet, but increasing confidence that around Christmas Eve, we could have some rain and storms, at least in the picture for our forecast. So our same 6-day precipitation outlook is showing that darker green shell, which would be above normal precipitation for this time stretch. December, not typically a very wet month for us, but again, we at least a chance for rain now in our forecast for Christmas Eve. So one more look at Christmas breakdown. 60 degrees for the morning of Christmas Eve, a high 74 for the afternoon on Christmas Eve, a chance for storms late day into the night before Christmas. As of now, we're being conservative with our rain chances here. I've got us at a 30%, but we will need to keep a close eye on that. Oop, I will max one back in there. We'll keep an eye on that storm potential, so we'll keep you posted here at KVU. But it does look like if we do see Christmas Eve into the night before Christmas, most of it should be gone time for Christmas Day. So 55 degrees in the morning to start, then 73 for the afternoon high, just a 10% chance for rain is the forecast. All right, so that's what I have for you tonight. We appreciate everybody joining us as always on KVU Plus and on YouTube. All of our streaming platforms. Again, this is something we're trying to do more and more of. So in the short term, just to recap everything, it's going to be tonight, our chilliest night in a while. Mornings will stay 30s and 40s through this weekend. Afternoons in the 60s. We'll be back in the 70s next week. Could have some storm picture for Christmas Eve, but Christmas Day looks mainly dry, just warm with highs in the 70s. So with that, I will let you go. Next KVU Plus update is going to be tomorrow morning with meteorologist Grace Thornton. Then I'll be back at 7 o'clock in the evening. If you would like to watch the linear TV side of things, KVU News at 10 will be tonight at 10 o'clock. Good night, and I will talk to you guys later on.